This is me at 130.3 pounds. At one time in my life, that number would have devastated me. I'd wake up in the morning and get on the scale. The number I'd see would determine whether I'd have a great or dim morning. In this video, I'll explore how that whole dynamic has changed for me and why, in fact, I don't think weight means much. And if you like this video, I hope you'll press like and subscribe. For many years in my young life, I thought I was supposed to be 115 pounds because that's what some health document or report said someone of my height was supposed to be. And you know, only for a hot second was I ever able to be at that weight. It just was impossible for me. I could do about 120, 125. That was as close as I really could get and stay with it. But as I've gotten older, even those weights have become almost impossible to achieve. And so I've established a new weight, and that's in the low 130s. That's been pretty consistent now for a few years. It was something that I was really fighting against until I had a very interesting encounter with my trainer. I went to see my trainer so that he could measure me with calipers and give me a report on my body composition after I'd been training for about 4 months to run the Chicago Marathon last year. I was kind of anxious because I already knew that according to my scale, I'd only lost 0.2 of a pound. That's right, 0.2. Again, 0.2 of a pound after running something like nearly 700 miles in training for the marathon. And I thought, how could that be? How could it be? Well, the calipers showed me that it could be that way because, well, that 0.2 of a pound wasn't just 0.2 of fat loss. It was something very different, something very encouraging. Because it turned out that I had actually lost 3.26 pounds of fat and had put on 3.06 pounds of muscle, and that is where that 0.2 was coming from. Not a bad trade-off. At the time of the weigh-in, I was 131 pounds, and I was fit. I felt amazing when I would go out to run, and the whole notion of trying to get down to 115 pounds just seemed absurd, especially when the trainer then showed me what my body fat percentage was at the time, and it came out to something like 19.4% of body fat. So there's no way that I needed to lose 16 pounds. In fact, I'd be killing myself to do that, all because of what some body standard medical report said. Now, does that mean that I don't think that I'll ever try to lose weight, quote unquote, lose weight? No. This whole marathon training thing it's always a work in progress. And last year when I ran Chicago, I did it in 4:13:25. There's maybe a chance I could do it quicker if I didn't carry the same amount of weight. And I'm talking about overall weight. So, just from an athletic standpoint, it's something that I am thinking about working on, but not because I feel that I need to be quote unquote thinner. So how would I go about losing this weight? I would have a hyper focus on my nutrition to make sure I was getting the right combination of nutrients so that I could maintain and in fact build more muscle mass while reducing the fat. I do think that there are some upsides to the weight loss, not only from the standpoint of possibly a better marathon performance, but, to be quite honest, just from a vanity standpoint, for me, I put weight on in my face. I'd love to see a face that is a little thinner again. But with all of that being said, that would be the real focus here would be on trying to improve the running performance. I don't think weight means much. And what I mean by that is that number on the scale, there is no reason why it should make you feel great or make you feel bad when you weigh in at whatever time that is, morning, noon, or night. It's that number on that scale, it just doesn't tell you much. It gives you kind of a ballpark idea of what's going on, maybe, with you, but we are all so very unique. And I think that if you want to get some clarity on what's going on with your body in terms of where you are with weight, you've got to take it to the next level. You got to get the caliper test or some other test that's going to give you a real sense of what your body composition really is. And obviously, since BMI is based on height and weight, that number for so many of us is probably just so off, that body mass index number. I think you could pretty much throw that in the trash and, find another way to make an assessment.